Alright guys, we're going to do the stocking right now. That's your heel and toe appliques. It's just your inner fabric, whatever you want your liner to be. It's ironed on to 940 feasible interfacing. You're going to trim that up, that way it looks nice and pretty because it's going to go on top of your stocking, alright? So we're trimming it up, trimming it up, trimming it up. Gosh, I'm so slow. And we're going to take our front piece of our stocking, that's your heel, or I'm sorry, that's your toe applique. You're going to stitch that there, and that's your heel applique. You're going to stitch it on the heel. I like to do the flat part the flat part first because it's the only part that's visible stitch wise for the whole heel and toe is the part that's towards the center of the stocking. The edges get covered up when you use the 1/2 inch seam allowance all around it. So now we're doing the heel part, and again, the little swirly side that's closest towards the center of the stocking, that's what I stitch first because it's most visible, it needs to look the prettiest. And we're just going to stitch around there. Yep, and then that's done. Bam. All right, now what you're going to do is you're going to take your lining fabric, put nice sides together. I had to take a little breather because I was stressing. You're going to put your lining fabric and your outside fabric together all good. Do a 1/2 inch seam allowance. Make sure you have right sides facing, otherwise you're going to be really upset when you turn it inside out. We're going to do the same thing for the back piece. 1/2 inch seam allowance right at the top. Bam, that's done. Now what you're going to do is you're going to get your little tab. It's a 2 inch by 4 inch strip. You're going to fold it in half and then undo it and then fold the halves in half, and then you're going to fold it in half again and stitch on both sides of it. That way it looks nice and pretty. And here we are, we're lining up our seams of our stocking, right sides together. Make it all pretty. You're going to measure down 3 inches from that center seam at the top right there. 3 inches, you're going to make a mark. That's where you're going to put your little loop-de-loop, your little hanging loop. And then you're going to mark 2 inches down from that. We're going to trim our little loop-de-loop, put it in, loop side inside, tail side out. And you're going to stitch from the top of that tail side all the way around until that mark, which was 2 inches down from that loop. And you're going to sew around. This is a 1/2 inch seam allowance, guys. You can totally do a 1/4 inch. I do a 1/2 inch, again, because I love the wiggle room. It, just, you know, it's a nice little safety measure, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. And then we stitch it around. I paused this video somewhere because I'm like, wow, people don't want to watch this. Yeah, here I am. All right, now you have that little 2 inch gap that I told you to leave. You're going to flip your stocking inside out. Now, it might not look like it, but I promise you, I fought for my life in this. So if you want to leave a 3 inch gap, that is totally cool. I'm going to pause it here too because I'm fighting to get it all together. If you want to leave a 3 inch gap, that's probably better than a 2 inch gap. All right, now we're going to stitch up that little 2 inch gap that I made. And now, oh, see, I flipped it inside out off video because I was struggling. I didn't have enough time. But there you go. There's your